Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Terry Ashford, bringing you the Australian Open 2020. Today is January the 8th, Wednesday at 8:21 a.m., and we are broadcasting from Washington, D.C. in the United States of America, bringing it to you through the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show in the car seat with that guy. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, this is Terry Dwayne Ashford, and we are going to change the pace and the mood this morning of the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show. The In the Car Seat host is going to bring you the Australian Open starting at the end of the month, January the 20th, 2020. Commentary and discussions about the Australian Open, the players, and the performance at the Australian Open begins now. The Australian Open is the first tennis Grand Slam of the year, beginning every year for over 30-something years, probably even longer than that. We do not have the exact date, but the Australian Open is the first Grand Slam of the year, beginning every year in the month of January. This year it begins January the 20th, and it includes all of the top tennis players around the world. All of the male players from the ATP Tennis Tour and the female players from the WTA Tennis Tour vie for millions and millions of dollars to start their tennis year. We are now in the first 2 weeks of the year, which consist of the warm-up tournaments to the Australian Open. For the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show in the car seat, we bring you the Australian Open 2020. Here at the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show, we like to entertain you while we are informing you. We're doing them both. We're killing two birds with one stone. I'm Terry Ashford, and we are bringing you music to go along, just to entertain you while you relax and get ready for the Australian Open. Stay with us. The defending champion for the Australian Open is Naomi Osaka. The winner in the U.S. Open over Serena Williams, and the much ado spat that occurred with the umpires at the U.S. Open. The drama that may have overshadowed her win, the last Grand Slam title of the year, was consoled upon Naomi Osaka's winning of her second Grand Slam title of the Australian Open of 2019. As the defending champion of the U.S. Open and the Australian Open, Naomi Osaka was asked how she felt about defending her title. Her response was perfect. Well, I really don't feel that I'm defending anything, she said. She actually stated that she thought she was actually just going in to win a second one. For Naomi Osaka, that took the pressure off of her of having to defend a title. She's winning a second one. She's not defending the first one. She's winning the second one. Hey, look, I think that's a wonderful view to start the year with. I'm Terry Ashford for the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show, bringing you the In the Car Seat performance this morning on January 8th, Wednesday morning at 7:27 a.m. From Washington, D.C., I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. Warm-up tournaments have begun, and all the top players are warming up by playing premier tournaments in Australia, beginning around the first part of January. And we have currently 3 tournaments going on. One premier tournament. We have 2 international tournaments going on at this particular time, in which all of the top players are playing. We're going to speak mostly on the women's side this morning. Diverting to the men on tomorrow, on January the 9th. Serena Williams is playing as she just surpassed the first round of the warm-up tournament in Australia. Naomi is playing the first week, and she also made it through the first rounds of the warm-up tournament that she's playing. Venus Williams is not playing the first week. We checked her schedule at press time last night, and we could not identify which tournaments that she's going to be playing in order to warm up for the Australian Open yet. We hope to find out more information for you on that today. Angelique Kerber played and made it through the first round. We weren't so lucky to see Maria Sharapova make it through the first round. She kind of lost her first round match, but we don't let that bother us because we understand that these players are usually, they have their own strategies in preparing for the Australian Open. That is going to be the Terry Dwayne Ashford, the in the car seat discussion and topic during the first week is we're going to be looking at Maria Sharapova's conditioning and looking at her performance and just seeing who is ready to win the Australian Open 2020 this year. Will it be the return of Naomi Osaka defending her title? Will Serena Williams match Margaret Court's 24 Grand Slams? Will we have a resurgent Venus Williams closing out at age 39 years old and winning her first title since Grand Slam title since 2010? One of the up-and-coming newcomers win their first title. Who is going to win the Australian Open 2020? This report is brought to you by Terry Dwayne Ashford for the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show, promoting In the Car Seat with That Guy. This is a copyrighted production by the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show and by Terry Dwayne Ashford himself. The Australian Open is one of 4 Grand Slams that are held throughout the year for the sport of tennis. It consists of 128 player draw, both on the women's side and the men's side, vying for the purse of more than $21 million. The Australian Open is held in a place called the Down Under, which is the kangaroo land of Australia. Following the Australian Open, we have the French Open, which everyone knows occurs in France. Immediately coming up from after the French Open is Wimbledon in England. And the last Grand Slam title of the year is the U.S. Open, held in New York City, USA. The Australian Open usually goes by the rankings in the seeding of the players. And we have Ash Barty as the number 1 tennis player in the WTA Tour. She is from Australia, by the way. The defending champion has dropped to number 3, Naomi Osaka. Serena Williams is coming in at number 10. Terry Dwayne Ashford and the talk show will discuss the seedings in a segment of this report coming up soon. Stay tuned. I am Terry Dwayne Ashford himself, and I bring it to you live wherever I am, wherever you see us. We might be there too. The winner of last year's Australian Open received $2.9 million, and the runner-up, the loser, receives $1.45 million. That particular prize money has been increased for this year. It increases every year. So it's been increased this year. Therefore, the winner would receive definitely well over $3.2 million, and the runner-up may receive up to $2 million. For the Australian Open, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford, I love bringing it to you live, bringing this broadcast to you from Washington, D.C. in the Terry Dwayne Ashford Talk Show in the car seat with that guy. This particular podcast will be broadcast on That Guy Radio, which can be downloaded at Terry Dwayne Ashford, the talk show website. That's terryashford.wordpress.com is where you can receive that app. That Guy Radio. I'm Terry Ashford. I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford on January the 8th on a Wednesday morning at 7:49 a.m. And we love you. And we are changing the pace and the mood of the Terry Dwayne Ashford podcast today. All for you. See, we know how to take care of ourselves, but somebody has to take care of you. The Terry Dwayne Ashford talk show in the car seat with that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford himself. The successful reporting of the Wimbledon finals match in 2018 where Serena Williams played against Angelique Kerber. Terry Dwayne Ashford and the talk show expands into the genre of tennis and sports, bringing you news, bringing you people discussions, bringing you the drama of competition, showing the money, delivering the attitudes, expanding from the Wimbledon broadcast of the finals between Serena Williams and Angelique Kerber. All of this is coming for you, beginning now, the Australian Open 2020. Enjoy. We want you to enjoy Terry Dwayne Ashford here for the Australian Open 2020 and the Terry Dwayne Ashford talk show in the car seat with that guy. Enjoy.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.